It appeared without a sound, tempered, defying every law of physics.
Not from our skies, not of our making.
He knew the risk, but the silence had to break. Containment protocols were already in motion.
For years, he had been their most guarded secret.
Documents began with the earliest, most brutal recovery.
Material unique to any known terrestrial alloy.
Beneath the surface, the truth was archived, cataloged, hidden.
They collected everything, the craft, and the occupants.
His access was deep. His target, the digital core.
Data was the key, the irrefutable confirmation.
For decades, they studied the geometry of the impossible.
Reverse engineering was the primary mandate.
Our most advanced fighters couldn't match their speed.
The handoff was perilous, but the world needed to see. Now, the story belonged to the investigators. The transmissions were constant, subtle, yet profoundly complex. The artifacts defied gravity. Their purpose, still unknown. Every move was tracked. Every leak, a counter-operation.
Decoding the classified files was a race against time.
The internal threat level had reached critical mass.
The documents revealed decades of stolen, integrated technology.
Not all occupants were recovered in one piece. Project Looking Glass. They studied future events.
Sometimes, the encounters were violent, unforeseen.
He knew they would hunt him relentlessly.
The inner circle was small, powerful, and deeply entrenched.
The walls of secrecy had been breached, but not yet fallen.
A beacon or a warning. The patterns were erratic.
Reactionless propulsion, the holy grail of their science.
Physical contact was restricted. The energy was volatile.
They were close now. The net was closing in rapidly.
Every shadow held a potential watcher, a potential threat.
Every administration knew. Everyone participated in the cover-up.
Not all crashed on land. The deep oceans held their own secrets.
Retrieval from the abyss required specialized, silent assets.
The weather was often their ally, a cloak for their movements.
Their shapes varied. Their capabilities did not.
The reality of the occupants was far more disturbing. They found his last known safe house. Time was over. He knew the files had to be published before capture.
The stream of data was overwhelming, impossible to deny.
The operation was clean, swift, and brutal. The body was secured, but the vital intelligence was already gone.
The world would wake up to a reality they never imagined. The news spread faster than any government could contain it.
The confirmation was absolute. The silence, broken forever. Shock, disbelief, and the dawning realization of everything hidden.
In the shadow government, the panic was immediate, the response cold.
The damage control operation began with quiet, decisive movements.
He gave them the truth. He paid the ultimate price.
Now, the world knew the shape of the impossible.
Every sensitive location was locked down, anticipating the world's demand.
The demand for full disclosure became a unified, global chorus.
Majestic 12, the architects of the Great Deception.
The path to the core was deep, shadowed, and highly restricted.
Their presence was not new, only our awareness of it. Crystalline matrices, their form of communication, perhaps power. The math of the cosmos, revealed and utterly beyond us.
The investigator was now a target. The evidence, his only protection.
Not all recoveries were immediate. Some remained frozen in time.
The material itself seemed to resist any true analysis.
The cover-up began centuries ago. The denial, a chosen comfort.
Our modern reconnaissance systems tracked them in silent awe. Faith became the only anchor in a storm of absolute reality. The energy signature was unparalleled, disruptive, overwhelming. The scale of their infrastructure defied even our deepest fears. Every step, every contact was being dissected for counter-strategy.
Biology beyond our understanding. Physiology completely alien.
The battle moved entirely to the digital ghost world. The arrivals were not isolated incidents. They were constant.
Temporal and spatial distortions were a common consequence.
Every fragment of evidence had to be authenticated and archived.
The cost of working in the dark was measurable in decades and sanity.
The ocean floor was the perfect vault. Deep, cold, and absolute.
Transfer of assets required absolute, covert darkness.
His safety now depended on perpetual motion, perpetual escape.
The counter-surveillance was constant. They were always a step behind.
The control structure was a complex, interlocking mechanism of power.
The impact sites were forensic gold mines, scorched but rich.
Their sheer energy output often brought our world to a halt.
He had nothing left to lose. And no more secrets to hide.
The journey was long, isolated, and the destination uncertain.
Classified scenarios detailed potential contact and consequences.
They moved with absolute, silent, calculated precision. Biological and technological were often one and the same.
Their ability to cloak heat and light was almost seamless. The final act, the last chance to secure the integrity of the data. Physical backup, untraceable, uncorruptible, undeniable.
The global debate was only just beginning. The truth was loose.
The deep state scrambles. They cannot retract what is now fact. We searched the cosmos for life. The greatest mystery was always here.
The message was not always in words, but in the spectacle itself.
He knew the risk was not over, but his mission was complete.
She sacrificed everything to ensure we were no longer blind.
Secrets were no longer ours alone. We were merely a part.
The architecture of the deception had finally begun to collapse.
The final document, the irrefutable truth of non-human intelligence.
The information was safe, the message delivered, the journey complete.
But the arrival was only the beginning. Their presence remained.
They move in silence, watching the new chaos they instigated.
Fear, fury, and the sudden, breathtaking rush of absolute wonder.
A prisoner of the state, a hero to the world. Her legacy assured.
The truth cannot be contained when the evidence is unassailable.
Every telescope, every antenna, now focused on the unknown. This single frame changed human history forever.
The pilots, the true witnesses, were finally believed.
The chapter on the cover-up was closed. The new story began.
They searched for what he had, not realizing he had already delivered.
The journey was not from a neighboring star, but from the deep void.
For the new generation, this reality would simply be life.
The threat had not vanished. It had merely become public.
Every sighting, every report, every whisper, validated at once.
The story was documented,
written into the irrefutable record.
He saw the light. He chose to share the vision. The journey is now outward. Our destiny is no longer anchored here.
They remain, silent, observing, and waiting for the next move. The weight of the world's greatest secret had finally been lifted. But in the vastness, new questions emerged with a chilling finality.
The files are out. The whistleblower's silence is the world's new dawn.